Boys, girls. Okay, it's been a while, and it's not that there's anything wrong, it's just that I've been extremely busy. Let me tell you a story. I was fixing a speaker on top of one of my cupboards there, and as I climbed off the ladder, my elbow hit this wagon, and it fell out my display case. You see the couplers broken off and stuff like that. I did catch it before it hit the ground, but not before it hit the ground a little bit. Anyway, what happened was, so I held the thing in my hand and I thought, shit, you know what? I've been building XP7s for a while now, and there was a petrol tanker. Well, this was a petrol in any case, but there was an XP7 petrol tanker that also had the corrugated cover over it. And a lot of guys asked me on Facebook, what was the... It was a heat shield. It was just to put a little space between the tank and the actual sun, because we live in Africa and it gets extremely hot here. So I thought, yeah, you know what? I've never done one with corrugation. So we started printing. My printers were very, very quick on this one. So we built this. Yeah. I'm now busy weathering it and stuff. But I want to show you some things that I'm extremely proud of. We got our new printer, and this is the sort of decal that we get out of it. Exceptional. Stuff is very nice and crisp and clear, and you can see there on that, very, very nice. Now, you see up top here, there. I'm going to tell you the story now. Look, I made a mark. Anyway, because my fingers are very dirty, because I was just weathering stuff. That's a wild, supposed to be. If I ever open my workshop welding like that, I'm bliksemak from by the huis. But anyway, this, I tried with epoxy putty to simulate welds. That wasn't too successful because I didn't have the right material. You need to have brown stuff, or then to a lesser extent milliput or something like that. This was normal stuff you buy at the hardware. It's pretty, eh? It's a very, very pretty wagon. So obviously now I'll do the wheels, but more about that later. While we're on the subject, I watched some videos on YouTube, specifically Night Shift, 2 words, both capital letters. That's Martin Kovac. I think it's Martin. And then Laser something world, Laser Creation World or something like that. These oaks are building dioramas. Plasma models as well. I mean, I look at these oaks and they are absolutely phenomenal. And I stole a couple of techniques from them because I cannot do detail like that. I simply haven't got the time. But I went out and I bought myself some oil paints. Now, I started washing here. You can see what it does. You know, it's still very shiny and stuff when it's wet. But the way it runs, because I thin it with white spirit, is just phenomenal. It's one of the better washes that I've tried in my life. Okay? So I started doing weathering their way. Move a little bit away from the airbrush, because the airbrush is very two-dimensional. You never get textures. You get textures with oil washes. I'll show you a loco that I'm busy with now, and it blows my mind. I'm nowhere near these guys, but I will master the technique, and this is probably the best weather job I've ever done on the loco. I'll show you now. But remember, I showed you the AY6 a while ago. Well, hell, I was never even keen to build them. Remember, they looked like this. It looks like an oak without teeth. All right, when they say, I wasn't too keen to build this. But by goodness, by the time that it was done and the first pictures went onto Facebook and stuff, I've got orders for 10 of these. 10. The people just went crazy about them. It's the weirdest thing. Because look at them, they're quite pretty when they're done. I mean, I've got the loads and them, the ballast loads. That one is a little bit empty, but all right. And the little stones that fall off here and stuff like that. That one is the reference one. You know, I remember I told you that the whole, on this, you can see that the blocks were done. That arm actually goes into that gearbox there. And that's good stuff. So I also did a little bit of oils here, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And the blending, you can see the textures I get there on the rust. How nicely the oil actually blends stuff in. And, you know, even with on the rivets and stuff there. It's exceptional the way that oil paints weather. And I love the smell. I smell like an artist. Yes. Anyway, what do you think? They're pretty, eh? Very, very pretty. So that one's got to be built. I've got a customer overseas that's also ordered a couple. There's some sugar wagons standing there. That's also, one is for him. He wants a couple of tankers. There's one tanker that came today. I built for him. He wants that as water tanker. So that'll be orange, which is always a very nice color on them. And then, as you can see, this one hasn't got the step down yet, which if you look on the small one here, that step. Because me and Carl from Klein Getrein, we decided to evolve a little bit and do photo etch brass steps from here on in. So it's hell of expensive, but you know, I think my models get to a point now where stuff like that's going to be necessary to, you know, compete on the world market, like in the UK and stuff like that. I think we're there. I think we can start doing stuff like that. Not that I mean, Carlos models are brilliant. But I'm getting there. Slowly but steadily, I'm getting there. All right, but now I want to show you what I mean with detail weathering. Now, walk with me. Look at this thing. Oh my goodness. I outdid myself here completely. I mean, this thing was painted like that. Remember, that was that body that was so stuffed up. That's the normal paint job on it, and then I just dull it and stuff with the airbrush. But this, I followed the night shift type of method. And there's a lot of hand painting in here. The actual dulling, you know, the bleach almost on those doors are done with a brush. And I actually mixed the color orange slightly lighter than than that. And then I did one darker and airbrushed that around the corners to get the sort of bleach effect more pronounced. But look on the tanks there as well. And I haven't even finished that. I mean, that was just the initial layer. I still need to blend stuff there and check how pretty it comes. And look at the bogies. It's just chalk and cheese from what I've been doing before. Now, also, I'm watching one of the videos, and here's this oak sitting with a adhesive foil that he's speaking about. So my wife comes in here, she says, but I've got some of that, and she hoists a roll down here, and I cut a piece very thin, and look at this. I made actual clamps around my pipes there. And check, look, I haven't even weathered that pipe. I will do that because there where it comes out as well, that must all be weathered. This is the problem with a weathering job like this. If you leave anything out, it looks incomplete. You got to do the whole thing now, and you got to go balls to the wall. Otherwise, it will stand out like a sore thumb. It's just, You see, so like this here, that must still have a dull coat and then weathered. But look at that. Hey, hell, man. Check the pipes at the back here. Yes. Now, couplers next. Couplers, I wanted to do it today, but I didn't get to it. I was a bit useless today. So tomorrow I'll put couplers on it, and I made myself a promise that by Sunday, this thing must hum and make a noise and move on its own. So I'll do a decoder fitment over the weekend sometime. But check. It's very subtle. This is the thing with weathering like this. You don't even see sometimes when you do it. Let me bring it closer. You don't really see what you're doing, but when you put it down and it's dry, it sort of pops. It's just lovely. Oh, and I built this little thing here with my track. I haven't finished it yet. I must put a little dingy here to fix it up and stuff like that. But check my puddles of water. Yes. I am so rusted with scenery as well. Hell, man. When I start building the layout, I will have to pull my finger out. Because that sort of thing, this is how I normally build. I build very organic. So if I want to do a whole layout like that sort of finish, man, I will have to get going very, very quickly. All right, so that's basically all, dudes. Now just look at this thing, man. And yes, it looks like a real train, eh? Yes, I really like what this weathering's doing. So I'm busy with the interior, so if you walk with me, it's total chaos here by me. I just washed this. I'm waiting for it to dry now, and then I'll blend everything in. See, there's the gauges. I have to put glass over it, but I didn't want to do it before I do the wash because just now I sort of soil them. So you get this sort of thing. Now, you see that's still wet. It looks like this, and it looks overdone, but it's lovely because afterwards you come with just plain white spirit on a brush. You blend that stuff in the way you want it. You can do it, you can do it 2 days later, man. It's oil paint. It's just lovely stuff. So I want to do a different color in there as well, a little bit of burnt sienna or something reddish, more. I don't want to chip this yet. I'm still scared of the chipping thing, but chipping I'll also do a bit later. But look at that. Hey. Rikus was busy. Rikus was very, very busy. So, yes, I gave myself the week off. I'm not going to build any more wagons because I'm tired and hurtful for them. I want to finish this. So my holiday job is this. This must run before Sunday. This thing's been here for ages, and old Yaku has been very patient with me. That's his garret. We're waiting. The other garret's coming. Once that gets here, I can do the final detail on that, and then get that out of here. The electronics, everything is set up. But I'll show you that when it's done. That's going to be spectacular. But hey, what do you think? Oh, yeah. And yeah, I did another one. This is also Yaku's. Another cattle wagon with a much more subtle weathering. Also lots of oils in it. Oil washes. And remember, they used to paint this stuff on with a brush or a roller, as well as the black. So they were never very neat. And it's a mission to paint that because, they're not. So Neo did some decals for me with that actually on it already. So your decal actually looks like that. You see? Lovely, man. Lovely. So, yes. See the whites behind there? Can you see there? Yes. So, that's a new way of doing it, and I love what it's doing because it looks really, really nice. So that was first price. And you can cut it different. When you cut out the decal, you can cut some of the points off or leave them or turn it around the other way. Or, it's not a consistent shape. So you can play with that too as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, dudes, I'm going to go. I want to go eat. I'm very, very hungry. I'm hangry already. So, yes, say goodbye. And everything outside's going well. The roof plates came. Everything is ready. We can put the roof on not too long from now. But more about that later. I'll make a video for you in the week. All right, dudes and dudettes. See you later. Goed, tot ziens.